From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara.
Up next, a good one in the NFC West and a wild card rematch from a year ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you had to feel for the 49ers and their fans in last year's NFC Championship game, seeing the quarterbacks go down. But Brock Purdy, after the elbow surgery, back to take over once again.
And an even more confident Brock Purdy. Remember how he took over last year and they got on that great run? Now, he'll be much more in command of the offense, understand it fully, and knows exactly who to get the ball to in order to produce points for this 49ers team.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Seahawks, most of the pundits, yourself included, Charles, gave their draft class high marks. And that comes after a year where they struck gold in the 5th round with Tariq Woolen.
And they also struck gold in the offensive line, getting brand new tackles at left and right. Struck gold with a running back who was a big-time runner as a rookie. Yeah, there's something to be said about building through the draft.
The kicker, Jake Moody's got it teed up. And we are underway now from Santa Clara. Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. And it is a first-time Pro Bowler who leads them out, Charles, in his 11th year now, Geno Smith.
When the Seahawks named Smith the starter last season, it gave him an opportunity he wasn't sure he would get again. And then he became one of the best quarterbacks in football and sustained it across a full 17 games, winning comeback player of the year. Saved his career with last season and keeps the Seahawks as true contenders.
The leading rusher among rookies a season ago. Here's Kenneth Walker.
And really a nice job there to make something out of that run, sidestepping defenders for a pickup of 4.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble.
It's Madden NFL 24, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Hawks and the Niners under the lights on Sunday night.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The Niners offense set to go to work, and it's last year's revelation, Brock Purdy, who leads them out in season number 2 from Iowa State.
There weren't many bigger stories last season than Purdy, who's officially the most famous Mr. Irrelevant of all time. Won each of his first 5 starts and almost guided his team to a Super Bowl. He's really forced the team to reevaluate its plans at quarterback because he looks like the real deal.
Here's the Pro Bowler, Christian McCaffrey.
That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
A good run there off right NFL football, the right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's got room. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. That good for 22 and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league. It's told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They go play action here. Purdy. And that one into the hands of Ayuk downfield.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. McCaffrey is in. Touchdown 49ers. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Jake Moody now for the point after.
And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
As I remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia, he was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at their own 22. Geno now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
They run with a second-year man. It's Kenneth Walker. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up. and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Ray McLeod.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He finds some open field here. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
62 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Now Samuel.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. This will be caught at Samuel. And he'll go down at the 28. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
On 1st down, Purdy. And he will find his man, Samuel. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel, 28 yards. And the Niners lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ballgame for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Moody good with the extra point.
And it's now 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. That's complete to DK Metcalf. A good pickup there at 22.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because This has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Javon Hargrave, the former Eagle, there on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On 3rd down, here's Purdy. Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey. And he is going to have a 49ers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Purdy off the play fake. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and controlled you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against it. Good defensive call right there, because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route, and he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from adding another catch to his big start.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard, leaving
leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
Purdy.
And able to haul it in is Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line.
Kittle's got his first catch, and it's also a first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
First down marker at the 5. It's 2nd and goal.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Throwing here, Purdy. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Niners take a 3-touchdown lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
The extra point try now for Moody.
And it is now 21-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Lots of incompletions on first and second down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
75 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Myers connects on the PAT, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
97 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey on the give. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Purdy now to throw.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29.
So on is the rookie Jake Moody for the Niners field goal.
From the left hash, this from 46.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. On the slant, here's Smith and Jigba. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Smith now to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent, the blocking's been terrific, and obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Purdy's throw complete here to Ayuk.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Back to throw, Purdy.
That's Samuel, caught left side.
On the move past the 40.
And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, he worked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. It delivers a big play here for this offense.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, Purdy.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Now Purdy. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Purdy looking to throw. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
A great play there as the first half is winding down.
And the 49ers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Moody good with the extra point.
And a rout is on here in this first half.
Niners 31, Seahawks 7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st down 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground.
And this will be a Seahawks first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. The final shot here before break. Smith. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've hit halftime here in. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter.
Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
To throw on second down is Smith.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw, Smith. He hits his target, Lockett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
They'll run on first down with Dallas. There he goes, right side. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Here's Walker. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Geno now to throw. Touchdown, Seahawks. Noah Fant, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. Geno's going to throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, you're a former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive where you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays, so let's make sure that we don't let him get going again. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Purdy. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Looking for the out route. He's got it. Complete to Kittle. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Noah Fant with a catch on the crossing route. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing is Smith. He finds Smith and Jigba. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
Smith, and this throw finds Smith and Jigba. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Smith. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Trying the left side with Walker. Down to about the 22 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. To throw is Smith. Incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Back to Walker on first down.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Here's Smith.
Outright to Smith and Jigba.
The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
3rd and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Walker.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. 4th quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They snap it to Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They throw for it on 4th and goal at the 1. And this 49er defense stands tall down near the goal line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down.
And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the...
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jennings. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. He'll go down as a gain of 6. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. On the ground, McCaffrey. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Got his target, Samuel. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 34-yard line. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Now Samuel.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the victory here for San Francisco. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers
turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.